my tribe, where I am from, we are located at the center of Congo. The tribe is called Baluba.
My ancestors was leaving the coast, and they were in chains, and they were scared, frightened,
Right.
Angry, crying, like wanting to go back home, obviously.
Right.
And I'm sure that they prayed. To return back, or their kids could return back. And when they made it, when they were in the U.S. and they were enslaved, like, oh, let my children go back, be able to go back. And so that's me, able to go back. And so
That's true.
that's what you're helping us to do.
Yeah.
Because like when we left, but then there's also, those who remain on the continent, our family.
Us.
Yeah. And then even during grieving, I'm sure like families and communities were like really upset. Oh, my baby's left, or my brother left, or whatever, and then colonization happened.
Yes.
And so both of us, went through hard times.
Yes, we went through pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, and I looked at, some of the history, and it's horrible.
Yes, that's true.
It's,
That's true.
but so that's part of what I'm trying to figure out, if we can, like, use these reconnections to strengthen us, somehow, like, mend, heal, restore.
Yeah. I always felt that way, just like I said before. African Americans, they came here, but at some point they have to know where they came from. They have to know their roots. They have to just being able to know, okay, you are, for example, they purchased your ancestor in this specific place. So I think if they start to know that thing, it might change a lot of things, as far as cultural identity. They're gonna start now to identify themselves. Okay, I'm from here, but I'm not originally from here. So I think they might end up choosing if they want to live as an African people in that diaspora community, or as people from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way, because I always sometimes ponder with my wife. We like, okay, we have our kids. They have been born here, so they basically are African Americans. But the way we plan to raise them, we want them to know everything about our culture. We don't want them to be like, no, we were born here in Champagne and period. No, I want them to be able to at least understand my language, Lingala, for example, or Swahili. I want them to be able to know that. I want them to be able to know all the cultural practice, even though they're not going to practice it, but at least to know it and to understand it.
Right.
Yeah, because I think it might help them to finally choose their personal cultural identity instead of being imposed. You have to live that way. That's my
and it has dignity with it.
Yes.
It's not associated with like subjugation happened, but this identity is more than that. Culture is more than that.
Yes. I'm so surprised. I am amazed the way you just were able to find all of this thing. I really wish all African Americans should be able to find the same thing.
Me. And as so, like, my desire is, if, let me go back here, is if more first, second generation African immigrants. I say immigrants because the U.S. The company's based in the U.S. And I think also in the U.K. and I think also in Australia. And then could test. And so, like, if you were related to me, I have over 100 members of my family is living, right? Extended my cousins and whatever, and so, like, all of us would know, will have that identity now. I don't know. Okay, let me just be more direct. So, like, my identity can be more than America. and it's more than what they say I am. It's more than like denigrated identity, like this low status. Is I can like remove myself from that,
Right.
and I think that when we're able to do that and have this better sense of self and sense of community, like you're a part of something that's greater or better than like this cage that is the U.S. sometimes, that you can then be like have that motivation to make use of some of the opportunities that we have, because now you have a sense of purpose.
Yes.
So like now, like my mother, like because I've gone to Ghana 3 times and I've talked to my mother about it. And she has given to me a sense of pride of African ancestry when I was growing up. Oh, wow. So then I've gone to Ghana lots of times, and now I'm giving to her, like, Ghana.
Yes.
So she's now going to Ghana with me this summer.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and so we're going to spend 10 weeks there. It'll be her first time, and she's so emotional about it and so excited about it. And then, she's planning to relocate there when she retires. So that's in about, in about 3 years. Right? And so it gives us these options, and like it's not like Africa is like a cash cow, you know what I mean? It's not that, and that's what I want people to understand. It's not that. It's like, this is a part of who we are.
Yes. And I'll tell you something. I mean, my personal story when I got here in the U.S. and back in 2005, we used to live. I used to rent like an apartment with a roommate. We were both from Congo, so our next neighbor, she was a Caucasian girl. She was living by herself, and she was really nice with us. Just saying hi to us, and that's it. No further stuff. So after a while, she got like a new roommate who happened to be a African American girl. And the first time when she got there, she noticed, the close neighbor were black people like her. So, like, after a week, she just came to our door and knocked on the door and asked us if we have any sugar, if we can give them sugar. I mean, we were amazed because both me and my roommate, we were like, this is Africa. This is how we are in Africa. I mean, if I live in my neighbor, there is no way I'm going to ignore that person. It's not going to happen. We're going to at some point we're going to find our way to get together. Yeah. Because we neighbor. That's how it is. And, and for some people it might end up becoming like a family thing. Even though you're not really related to family. Right. It's just because you live in the same area. Right. And that speaks too much to us. We were like, she's an African American, but she just came to us because I assume it's on her gene, you know what I mean, on her DNA. This sense of community, of living with your neighbor as your friend, even though you're not friends. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I really think, even I see a lot of similarities between us as African immigrants, recent immigrants, and you guys who came like, centuries ago. I see a lot of similarities in a way we live. The sense of family, the sense of friendship. But again, with all the migration, everything you guys went through, it's changed a little bit. Sure. But when you see it like in overall, you see a lot of similarities between us, the way we live. And I really think African Americans at some point they should be able to connect back with African, Africa. They're gonna feel home. Yeah. It's just a welcome place, a welcoming place where people are nice with you. They want to learn more about you. They want to become friends with you. Yes. So, if I could take away anything, like I feel like this is gonna be like mini conversations, Yeah. And I'm excited about it. Right. Because like I said, I've been to Ghana several times. If I can just communicate
And well, maybe it's part of the DNA, as you say, like this desire, for that acceptance. Right. Not as a Bruni, a stranger. It's like, but as,
we want to find out a little bit more about the neighbor. We don't want to live. I mean, that's why I always tell my American friends, like, I really doubt it. Like, I can speak for all Africans, but I can speak for Congolese at least. There is no way I can live in a neighborhood where I don't even know who are they. No, there is no way. That's how it's kind of hard for us in Africa to have like massive shootings, because at least I know who they are and what they're doing in life,
right?
And what are their activities on a regular basis.
Interesting. Oh, this is really interesting. This is really good. Community building. To communicate, it's more important that I have this thing. What it is that we're doing, what we're a part of, for the people that's a part of it first. Right. So like this psychological well-being, this community forming, this family thing. That's the primary goal of the work. Right. But then to also communicate it to someone like a European American who don't have the same sense, or who think that African Americans have no depth, like we don't care, like we don't, no longing for, like this, so I have to communicate with them that we're even testing, that it's a growing trend, that it's been going on since the first, person came over, like this has all that this has been, like, I don't know if you're familiar with the story Roots, the television show Roots. I think it was in the 80s. The 80s, like this guy Alex Haley, he found his family history and all these documents, and he found out which ethnic group his family came from, and then he wrote a book, and then they did a television series on it. That was a time when, like, just about everybody.
Oh, Ruth. Yeah, I know the movie. Yeah. In French is Racine.
Okay.
Yeah, when they were changing his name, they want to call him. I watched it like back in 80s.
Yeah, so it was then.
It's an old movie.
Very popular, like, and then all of a sudden, like, all these people like wanted to do their. So my point is that I had to communicate to academics that this is a deep thing that we care about and that we want, and so I'm feeling blessed.
You keep going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, but, I mean, figure out whenever you're ready. Just let me know, and we're gonna set up a time, and then I can come as many. It really depends on you. I mean, if you want me like 3 times or more, I will show up. Okay,
and so like I'm thinking of series because like eventually you would also meet some of your African American cousins, and maybe even travel, like whatever that looks like, whatever, like some of your inner thoughts, even conflicts between the two and how you resolve them or help to resolve them, any of these things that come up, and then maybe over time we'll see a pattern, between your relationship building and others, and then like strengthen our program, or even what a program would even look like for us in this. So it'll definitely be a series.
I think it's amazing. It's amazing.